Welcome to MQuestTV, and I'm your host, Mimi. Blanca Beyar is a successful author, empath, healer, and medium. She inspires others to discover their own strengths and empowerment.
As a healer, I'm a facilitator of energy. I tell everyone who comes to see me that it is not necessary to see a healer to receive healing. The healing is available to us 24 hours a day. And so the reason we would come to a healing is because we love ourselves enough to let a facilitator, facilitate the movement of energy so that we can be in a complete state of surrender. And that means like an eagle, open to have that divine exchange, to release what doesn't serve us so that the God force can then refuel us. And that's a beautiful gift to experience, right?
Absolutely, and again, they're basically going up another vibrational level when they do so.
Yes, if they allow themselves. There's so many different levels of healing. And what I mean by that is that, if someone is willing and open to experience other levels of consciousness, then many things can happen at a healing table, not only healing from a physical, mental, and emotional standpoint, but even healings from past lives, from other dimensions, from other realms. I mean, the potential is unlimited if the person is open, you follow? So if a person is only open to, saying, oh, okay, I'm open to physical healing, then the God force is not going to impose free will to say, well, I'm going to give you healing at every level. So willingness and openness are great protocols, for someone who's looking to receive optimal healing.
Mm-hmm. Sort of is on the wing of another question. When people are asking for guidance and they're told to ask their guides or their angels for it, they don't realize that they do need to ask because they're not allowed to step in because of free will. Do you want to comment about that?
Absolutely. I think that that's a fabulous question. Many people feel forsaken and feel that they pray and that they, that they pray or that they're in need. And I lovingly tell the individuals that prayer and asking for something and an intention are all different things. A prayer is, an offering, if you may, can be an offering. And sometimes it could come from a place of desperation. Okay, asking for help is something that we feel entitlement, that we feel worthy to receive. Mm-hmm. And that's where we need to ask when we want the angels to really help us. To ask and know that we're worthy to receive that help. And then, of course, the intention, what I mentioned, is to feel that we have the empowerment to set out an intention and that it can be fulfilled. So those are different levels, I believe, of putting out a petition for assistance.
I read the other day that the word ask in Aramaic means to claim. So in actuality, asking has a higher level of action as opposed to, we always think it's a passive activity, but it really is a lot more aggressiveness to it. And it's showing that we deserve to have it.
Exactly. And I love that word deserve because, many of us feel that we're not deserving or that, there's something imperfect about our spiritual nature that we just don't deserve to be heard by the God force or to be happy or to receive. And that's nothing more than belief patterns. They could be very real because if we believe them, then they become our reality. But it's definitely not because the God force feels that way. Yeah. And I forgot to mention that I'm pretty radical, but of course, I always say to everyone what resonates, except what resonates. But the God Force wants us to be happy and is more than willing to offer and give us anything and everything that we need. It may not always be what we want, but it definitely is going to be what we need. And ultimately, that's for our highest good.
You have a recent book out, Female Divine, Hurt No More. What was your reason for putting that book out for women? What did you want to help them with?
My private practice of 15 years plus, primarily geared around women, clients, always open to both genders. But, I realized that the female divine is more open and willing to seek help. And so over the 15 years of practice, I've worked with countless of women that ultimately, no matter what the subject was that brought them to me, ultimately the issue of relationships would always come to the table. The disappointments, the disheartening, the unfulfillment. And so I had so many stories that and encounters that I was able to draw from. And the message of the book is that we don't need to hurt anymore in order to be in a relationship. That we need to be able to learn how to love ourselves enough and know that there may have been a time for that, but it's definitely not part of the new paradigm. There's a complementary energy that can vibrate and be harmonious with us in a relationship, but we have to believe that we're ready for that.
Did I see that you're also coming out with one for men as well? Because I think I saw
Yes.
a note about that. Yeah.
I'm so excited, because the Female Divine was published and released in March, and I'm still actively, promoting it. But whenever I'm ready to write a book, this will be my 10th.
Wow.
The God Force comes tapping on the shoulder and says, "You're ready." And so I was a little like, really? I'm so excited because it's part of the trilogy. It's the second part of the series. And I love the title, Male Divine, Hide No More. And just like the female shouldn't hurt, the male divine is really being invited to step out and to feel safe in stepping out. Some may feel that the word hiding is insinuating that, oh, they're hiding, No, it's about a compassionate hiding, saying that they don't need to hide anymore because the male divine has been pressured through lifetimes to be strong, to not wear their emotions because that was not a manly thing to do, to be the providers, to be the leaders. And all of these requirements force them to hide from their emotions. And if we put the two together, the female divines are seeking to find an emotional partner, and the male divine is not able to. And so if we can, bring healing into these two genders, could you only imagine what kind of relationships we're going to have?
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be part of that.
Thank you for watching our interview with Blanca Beyar. Please check back for part 3 coming up soon. Please visit MQuestMedia.com, where you can find articles, special events, and our monthly internet radio show Hidden Mysteries with my co-host Reverend Maria D'Andrea.